All right. Let me see if I can find us.
No light yet.
I'm gonna get my phone. We have so much to talk about this morning. Yeah, it's that second one.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now I show us.
Yes.
Just don't have the blue light. I don't know why.
Checking by looking at the camera. Checking. Let's see if it sees a movement in a delay.
We're on.
There we go.
There it is. Okay.
Now it show us.
Can you hear the microphone okay? Can you hear my microphone?
Yes. Your level seems maybe a little low.
A little low, you
On
say?
YouTube.
There we go.
Okay, let's see which one is that. It's this one.
The microphone okay?
You know what? Just stay close to the microphone. When you get
My
up,
microphone.
there you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Your level seems
Check
maybe
1, 2.
That's good.
My seems better.
All right.
Check 1, 2. You know what? Just stay close to the
Let me
Okay, we are on, Ronnie.
turn my vent sound off.
Let's see. Do we
Jason's
have
here
anybody
right
with us?
away.
We have
Steve,
live chat
Rick.
7. I see you. I hear you. Can hear.
Perfect. Hey, our tree is here.
Hey, Lou and Ronnie, I hear you, says Plumtree. Hey, buddy, good morning. In Arizona. Monsoon weather there the other night. I saw you were casually taking a dip in the pool. And then the monsoon hit.
I've been in Arizona numerous times in August, and it's bizarre. 95 degrees and 90% humidity.
Okay, well, when last we spoke, we were talking about the fires in Cali. I'm going back to
Yes.
Cali. I'm going back to
terrible.
Cali. Here are the extended forecast temperatures. Today, 96. Tomorrow, 97. Tuesday, 96. Wednesday, 95. Thursday, 97. Friday, 98. There's, people go, well, it's not 100. Do you understand? There's no difference.
No. And if you look at your iPhone weather app, right, it says unhealthy air quality.
Yeah, you got to mention that because of all the fires.
Yeah, we were up there last week. I looked at mine one day and we were at 248 unhealthy air quality. And normally it would be right around the, like 30 or 40-ish level. Right now, let me peek at my app. But I'll bet you that our air quality is up around 150.
Are you an app peeker?
159.
Come on, we can do better than that, Sacramento.
Man, that's
You know
bad.
you can.
Yeah, so not a good day to be out there riding your bike, jogging,
Taking the dog for a walk.
working in the yard.
If you haven't done it by now.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't check was current temperature. Let's see what that is. Do you have that on your app?
73.
Okay, mine says 68. So and that's how that goes. When they forecast the weather, they'll say that the little sleepy town of Yuba City is expecting a high of 101, and in Sacramento it'll be 100. Well, usually what happens is we'll be 103, they'll be 107.
Right.
And so, you can say it's going to be 98 today, but someplace it's going to be 100, and it's going to feel like 100. And
Well,
I've said it. I said it before, Ronnie. What happens when the temperatures are this high for this long? People begin to melt from the inside out.
yeah.
And they get very, very cranky.
So 1 week ago today, we didn't have a show
Right.
because I had a training day that was out at our range.
Mm-hmm.
And we started at 8 a.m. and we finished up at about 2:30. And when I left there, it was 108 degrees. There's no air conditioning out there. You had to eat your lunch on site. We got a half hour to eat our lunch. I sat in my car with my AC on for 30 minutes to try to bring everything back down. but as soon as you get out there, and then this is the greatest forecast of all. I drank a one of those igloo Playmates that's this big around and like this tall. I drank one of those full of water. I had 2 Gatorades and 4 bottles of water. And from 7 a.m. until 3:30 when I got home, I never peed. So your body was using every bit of liquid that you were pouring into it. Crazy.
You gotta remember to hydrate. It's so important in California.
I drank and drank and drank.
Yeah. So
it was unbearably hot. It was miserable. And there's just a very little bit of shade out there. It was a long, miserable day. A lot of fun. Got to shoot. I probably shot 300 pistol rounds and probably 200 rifle rounds. So it was
What kind of rifle?
We use AR-15s.
Okay.
Or as Joe Biden calls them, an AR-14.
Yeah. Well, 14 wasn't good enough, so they made a 15. What in the hell is going on at your house?
Oh,
half of you is disappearing right now.
That's our ice. Oh,
there you go.
That's our ice maker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you conveniently locate your broadcast area next to the freezer?
Relatively close to that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. So we could call the show In the Kitchen with Ron and his freezer.
And the ice maker.
All right. There you go. Our email addresses. I got a lot of email the last 2 weeks. Not just for this show, but for the radio show too. And I'm probably going to get back to most of those today, but there's Ronnie's right there. Ronnie at menaresosmart.com. And there's our Facebook address. Why don't you follow our page? That would be cool. We do real well on Facebook.
We do.
I've been a little lax in my posting, but I've just kind of been backing away from social media a bit lately. I'm just tired of it, frankly.
It really is. It's so over the top right now. People are, because the election is getting so close, people are really getting concerned and more losing their minds than normal. So I have been trying to stay away from anything political on Facebook, and it's almost impossible.
I know.
So,
and I'm going to go ahead and generalize here. And, the obvious elephant in the room is politics. But that aside, use social media, or at least do me a favor, use Facebook as a source for fun and frivolity.
Yeah.
Post something funny.
Should be used to connect with old friends, and relatives, and schoolmates, what have you.
An interesting way that maybe you fell or your dog got off the leash, or that kind of stuff. Those kind of stories, real life stuff. Some of this stuff is just, it's too much for me. And these quizzes, people, don't you understand why those are on there?
Yeah.
Tell them, Ronnie.
It's a ploy. It's a ploy to get your information. Don't take Facebook quizzes. They're fake. Obviously you don't have a Viking name, or, your flower isn't a chrysanthemum. They're all just fake quizzes just to harvest your information
for passwords.
Yeah. So don't take those fake book quizzes.
I had somebody say to me, "How come you haven't taken that car quiz?" Because I do this car show on the radio on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
How come you didn't take it? Don't you want to know which car you are? Frankly, no.
I don't identify as a car.
No, I don't. Okay, so let's see. We talked about fires in the premature episode today.
One of our listeners, Gear Wine, who I'm not familiar with.
That sounds like a new name. Hi, Gear Wine.
Yeah, he just came from Arizona, 116 degrees, no grass for the dog, just rocks and cholla cactus. Glad to be back. Remember, smoke adds flavor. Yes, it does.
I'll be honest, we barbecued a steak last night. It was one of the best I've had in a while.
Well, I was telling somebody that now I know how the salmon feels that I stuck on my Weber Smoky Mountain
Yeah.
smoke. So
Yeah, it's retribution is what it is.
yeah, it's you cook it low and slow, and that's how I've been cooked the last week.
Right. I haven't even been out of the house. I haven't even bothered. I've been trying to schedule my surgery, and I've done it 3 times in the last, not counting this weekend, 3 times in the last 5 days, and they still have not called me back.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, they're probably operating on pretty short staff too, but still, it seems like a surgery like that they would move towards the front.
Yeah. I spoke with a nurse, it sounded like to me, and she did sound a little frazzled and rushed. But when I told her that I was calling to schedule my surgery, she goes, "And no one's called you back yet?" I said, "No."
No.
She goes, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your message and I'm going to attach it to your file, and somebody should be back to you in the next 24 hours. Well, that was about 72 hours ago.
Wow.
So, and I gotta get that scheduled.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see some, I don't want to go there, but I have no strength in one of my hands. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
I go to put my hand in my pocket and I miss by 2 fingers. It's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk to some. Good morning, Melanie Dodson. I just saw your name and scrolled right by it because I went so fast. Good morning
John
to you.
Billieu is here.
Sasha, yeah. Let's see. Pat, JT. He's been a viewer for a long time.
Oh yeah, JT's been around.
Mm-hmm. Randy Brazil. Let's see. Tisha, good morning. John Billieu. He says, "Sorry, I'm late." Well,
As it turns out, not that much.
No, not really. You missed a whole other show, though. Well, just the beginning. Just the beginning. Okay,
And
so
it was a very one-sided show. I did a lot of talking on that show.
Rick Clemenson says, "I don't post or answer posts 99.9% of the time." In days gone by, I would promptly reply to a lot of YouTube comments. Frankly, they go a few extra days now and again. Some of them don't even justify a reply.
I do enjoy a good Facebook tussle, though, every once in a while, where you get into it with somebody and, that just has, I'll tell you, my latest one is somebody. I belong to a Citrus Heights page. And somebody was saying that somebody called code enforcement on her because she has a bunch of crap, bricks and wood and other stuff in her driveway. She says, "I'm paying the mortgage. I should get to keep whatever I want in my driveway." Well, that's kind of true, except that it ruins the home values in your neighborhood if it's, if it looks like crap. So, and a lot of people agree with me. In fact, I live in a homeowners association. And
You're the president.
As a matter of fact, I am the president. And you know what? We don't have that issue. We don't have people, with cars up on jack stands for months at a time with, no engines and the hood off and whatever. So I enjoy walking through a tidy neighborhood. That's just me.
Yeah. It's just the houses on that street?
No. So we have like 58 homes in our homeowners association. So it's the whole I'm not even sure if you've ever been down to the
I've
end
never
of the street.
gone past your street.
Yeah, it dead ends probably a half mile down, or not even. And
That's our audience.
yeah. Anyway, it dead ends down there, and there's a few courts on either side of it, and that's it. 58 homes.
All right, Mr. President.
Yes.
Coming up in our Manatee draft today, this should be fun. We're going to be talking about COVID-19 terms that you are absolutely sick of. You don't care if you never hear the word again. I can't believe that we're approaching September when this all started back in March. And the truth is that nothing has changed.
No, not really.
I hate to keep bringing up the radio show, but the radio show that I do on the FM station in the morning on Saturday, I have a producer of my show. I always think of myself as Batman. I'm Batman. And so that makes him the boy wonder. And usually he's in the studio with me doing the show. Not as much a part of the show as with Ronnie. Ronnie's all 50% of this show.
Right.
But he's about 20-25% that he adds. And usually just enough that means that I don't have to talk for an entire hour. I get a little reprieve. We haven't done the show together since March. And the reason that I'm told that is because the studio is so small that you can't actually socially distance 6 feet. So we can't do that. And I guess he's okay with it. I mean, that's not his primary source of income. So
Thank goodness.
yeah.
Yeah, because he'd be hurting.
I know, right? Okay, so today, COVID-19 terms you are absolutely sick of hearing. And that'll be coming up in just a couple of moments. I saw this, let me get this story up. I saw this story this morning. U.S. Air Force F-16 pilot. And to fly one of those sons of guns, you got to pretty much have your shit together.
You got to be
Just battled artificial intelligence in 5 simulated dogfights. Okay, this is one of our best pilots in a simulated dogfight, and the machine emerged victorious every time. What does that say for our military?
Well, I used to be a big fan of flight simulators, and especially fighter pilot simulators. And whenever you're playing against the game has some advantages. And this game had the capability of having people come in and also do real human, where they choose a Russian warplane or a Japanese warplane, and it's much easier to beat a human than it is the machine. So there could be something to that, but I just think that probably artificial intelligence has gotten so good that it is maybe able to figure out or know in advance maybe what the person is planning to do. So, yeah, I don't know. I still think, our military is second to none in the world. So I'm pretty confident and I think we have air superiority immediately, no matter who we take on. So I feel pretty good, like I said, about our military prowess.
Okay, Ronnie, you're probably not aware of this.
Okay.
But I can tell you that the MTV VMAs, the Video Music Awards, are coming up a week from today.
I can't wait.
Well, see, I know you want to be a part of the information. And so what I've done is I've made some notes here through the week. So, because I'm hip with the kids.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm
and
hip
I like
with
to
the
be
kids.
in the loop also because
Right.
I'm a big MTV fan.
You are. I know you are. In
Yeah.
fact, with your retired time, I remember that was one of the first things you said to me was, I really want to watch MTV. I want my MTV is what you said.
Yeah.
You're exactly.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't mean to quote you, but
Or
so
stick.
I know that you don't. I mean, you worked last weekend.
Yeah.
You worked Saturday and Sunday technically,
Yes.
and so
Yep.
you don't get as much time.
No.
I'm on disability, so I have a little more time, a lot more time, to bring you up to speed. And you would look really foolish if you didn't know some of the names. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share these names with you,
Okay.
so that when you watch next Sunday at 8 p.m. Pacific
I'll
time.
be there. I'll be glued to my chair.
That's what I figured. Okay, well, first of all, I wanted to mention that the host of this year's VMAs
Uh-huh.
is Kiki Palmer. And I know what you're saying. You're going, well, Kiki Palmer, who's Kiki? That's Arnold Palmer's wife.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Okay.
I
So
don't believe
Kiki
it.
Palmer is Arnold Palmer's wife.
Okay.
Now, who's going to be performing is probably your next question. That's my wife
Yeah.
sneaking in here with some
Yeah.
hot coffee. Let's see.
Hopefully the Rolling
That
Stones.
didn't work, honey. It's not even hot. Taste it.
It's over an hour old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's longer than
Hopefully,
that.
so hopefully the
look that
Rolling
up.
Stones are performing.
No Rolling Stones, Ronnie.
Oh no.
First of all, you know who's performing is Miley Syphilis.
I've heard of her. I thought it was Miley Virus though.
Hold on. It is Miley Cyrus. Okay, I'm
Oh.
sorry. I didn't have my glasses on, so I didn't really see that well.
Oh, Miley Cyrus. I thought it was Miley Virus.
You know what she's doing? She's going to be bringing the music.
She's gonna be what?
She's going to be bringing the music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dropping a beat.
Yes. Do you know? Have you heard of The Weeknd?
We're in the weekend right now.
Well, it's actually his first name is 3 Day.
A 3-day weekend. I love that.
Yeah,
That's my
but he
favorite
doesn't
type
go
of
by
weekend.
that. He doesn't go by 3 Day. It's
Oh.
like if you saw him down at Costco
Uh-huh.
over in the detergent area, where those
Yeah,
big drums are,
yeah.
and you said, "Hey, 3 Day," he's probably not going to
Wouldn't-
reply to you.
Wouldn't even turn around.
He probably wouldn't.
Pretty vain.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
again, these are the VMA performers that we're discussing. Okay,
When you
so
say performers, you have to put air quotes around performers. Yes.
okay, so then there's the Korean act BTS.
BTS. I've heard of BTO.
No. See, Ronnie, that's why I'm going over these names with you because you're not,
Okay. I need
you're
to be
not hip
brought
with
up
the
to
kids
speed.
like I am. And that's actually stands for "But They Sing."
You do?
Evidently, yeah,
Or-
that's what it says. See, I gotta put my glasses on so that I can actually see what I wrote.
Or it could be boys to sing.
It could be a lot of things. BTS.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could even just be BS, frankly.
That's what Davio says.
Okay. So also performing, and this is big, Ronnie. I can't remember the last time I saw her sing. Lady Jaja I think she's going to be doing something with a meat dress.
Okay.
I know you're familiar with that.
I know the meat dress.
Right, but it's who she's going to be performing with.
Frank Sinatra.
No, somebody named Ariana Grande Nachos.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
She-
she hates America. That Ariana Grande.
And, well, then she hates Grande Nachos because that's America.
She hates America and Americans. There's a video where she says those exact phrases. I'm not a fan of hers.
Some of the awards, the hot prospects of who might actually be winning the award.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish. I
I've
think
heard
she
of
has
that.
one of those ones that goes straight across the
The
forehead
unibrow.
like this. Unibrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Billy Eyelash, yeah. He's good.
He is good.
You know those candies that dance and talk on TV, M&Ms?
Yes, love those.
I guess they're going to have the M&Ms guys there.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and they'll be performing with Juice World. And, juicing is very popular these days,
Yeah.
so I can understand.
I prefer a smoothie over, juicing, but
Again, I do this like a public service for you, Ronnie, because I know you're not,
I'm taking notes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. I appreciate that.
So
Let's see. Taylor Smith. She's up for an award for the song "The Man."
wow,
And,
that's creative.
yeah, that's where she's dressed as a man and mocking mannery as we know it today. So Taylor
What?
Smith.
You know what? We are not having her on Men Are So Smart. Then
No, I don't think we should.
She's banned. Yeah, she's banned.
You don't just ban people while willy-nilly, Ronnie. You take a lot of things into consideration.
Well, this will be on the vote at the next board meeting for sure.
You're a banner. All right. So now, do you feel a little more hip with the kids?
I feel like I'm up to date. Like
Okay.
I really
See, I watch the MTV so that you don't have to.
probably a lot of people appreciate that. I'm not even sure. Do they really? Is that channel still on even?
Of course, you know how much I like to watch ridiculousness. It's on MTV.
Okay, I
So-
have watched Ridiculousness.
I have been subjected to countless VMA commercials over the last 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Wow.
It's their biggest thing of the year.
Always has been.
They don't play music videos on there anymore, so that's all they got.
Yeah, sometimes they pop in with like a 30-minute program in between ridiculousness episodes. That guy.
Do you remember Downtown Julie Brown?
Oh, of course, yeah.
And then what were some of the other? They called them VJs back then. The video jockeys.
Right, VJs, yeah.
I
Not
can't
like
even
VJ
remember.
Sing.
No, completely different.
Yeah.
And way different than the VJJ.
Right,
Oh.
which is a different program.
But that is on MTV.
I think that's on VH1 or Lifetime or the Oprah Network.
Yeah, they had a couple of dude VJs on MTV, but I can't for the life of me think of their names. So
Remember, our fantasy draft is coming up in just minutes here, and we will
Yes.
be doing COVID-19 terms you're sick of hearing. But Ron, when we were growing up, you and I both loved and owned hot rods.
yes.
Well, one of the things that our parents used to tell us is you may be able that your car is fast and you may be able to outrun a police car, but you can't outrun the helicopter.
Or the radio.
Until now.
Uh-oh.
Until now, Ronnie.
Uh-oh.
What would you do? I'm sorry, let me get my glasses. What would you
Glasses
do with one of the fastest production cars ever made? Well, Mohammed Ahmed Abu Shaliba thought the Dodge Challenger Hellcat could outrun the cops. Not only was he right about the police cars not being able to keep up, but thanks to the Hellcat's top speed of 200 miles per hour,
Woo.
the helicopters couldn't keep up either.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the top end of a helicopter is.
It's called the Blade. Oh, you mean speed-wise. I'm sorry.
Yeah, speed-wise. I have been 100 knots in a helicopter before. I'm not sure what that relates to. I might have to Google that. How
I wouldn't bother.
fast is 100.
The chase began on I-10. Interrupt me when you get it. In the Houston area after police identified the Mopar as stolen. So he steals his car. He knows that it goes 200 miles per hour. And if he gets caught, which evidently he was almost, he'll just take off and do 200 and he'll outrun all the cops. Maybe not the helicopter, but as it turned out, yes. What's 100 knots?
100 knots is 115 miles an hour. Basically about 115.
So, I mean, that's 85 miles per hour slower than this car.
But again, I don't know what the top speed of the helicopter is. That's just as fast as I've been in a helicopter, is 100 knots.
Okay, well, Ronnie, evidently, it seems that the Hellcat, sorry, I can't say it for some reason, was gone. It was spotted on the side of the road just off the Winnie exit, Winnie, like Winnie the Pooh, where it apparently ran out of gas. So he knew he could go fast enough. He just didn't know how much gas, so he couldn't say for how long. The driver was nowhere to be found. How did they know his name? Well, one thing Abu Shaliba simply could not account for, though, was the persistence of the now 5 different law enforcement agencies that were in pursuit of him. With the help of infrared technology, maybe you could speak to that in a moment, he was spotted hiding in a wooded area in the middle of a cow pasture.
So we have this thing, it's called forward-looking infrared, or FLIR, if you will. That's what we call it. It's all like a military acronym. And if someone was, and it works in pitch black, in fact, it works better at night than it does during the day. During the nighttime, everything with no heat signature is black. Anything
Define
with
heat signature.
Like a mammal, any mammal. A mammal puts off a white heat signature. So let's say that we have videos of people that they fled and they got up on the roof of a shed and they laid there. And then when they heard the helicopter, they jumped off the shed. There's still an outline of their body on top of the shed because
from where they were.
Of where they were. And so you cannot hide from that unless you are completely underwater. So it's almost foolproof. And I did just look
Yet
up
you're still able to operate it, Ron.
Yes. I looked up the top speed of our helicopter. We have a EC-120, which is a Eurocopter 120. Top speed is 174 miles an hour.
Still not 200.
No, not going to be able to keep up with them.
But
the other thing you can't outrun is a spike strip.
Oh, right.
So once they know where he's going, and you can't go 200 miles an hour any place but a freeway, they just throw a spike strip across 4 lanes of a freeway, and once he rolls across it, maybe 2 or 3 flat tires. And
you can't see that when you're driving, when it's dark.
At 200 miles an hour, you can't see anything. You have tunnel vision at that speed. But yeah, in the dark, it's invisible. So it's
all
good
right.
stuff.
Well, you can run and you can hide in a cow pasture and you can run out of gas and you can outrun a helicopter.
And you can run your mouth.
And you can run a marathon. All right, enough running. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay, Ronnie, let's talk about our fantasy draft for today.
Yes.
Each week we pick a topic, and then from that topic we pick 3 things to formulate a team, and we do it in a particular pecking order. And I've got an idea for how we can do something a little different this week. Today the topic is COVID-19 terms you're absolutely sick of hearing. All right, and there's a lot of them. I don't have, you know what, I sent my wife a text to if she'd come get me some coffee. So I don't have the YouTube up. Let's see. There it is.
I have 5 right in front of me that
Randy Brazil says new normal. I have that on my list.
Oh boy, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. In fact, if anybody that's watching might have a coronavirus related term that they're tired of, put it in chat. Might be better than one that I've currently got.
Melanie Dodson says, "Oh, Ronnie." Oh, Ronnie.
I get that a lot.
I bet you do.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
I think I'll start saying, "Oh, Ronnie." Taylor Swift makes the Dixie Chicks look good. Shaking my head.
I saw the funniest meme. It says Taylor Swift has made a career out of making bad
Relationship.
bad decisions on men, and
Yes, yes.
yet she's endorsing Joe Biden.
That's irony.
Is it though? Really?
Davio says, I told you I'm really hip with the kids. He said hip replacement. Davio says, I missed the first MTV 1978. We all do. We were so much younger then. We're older than that now. That's not right. We were so much older then.
Living in an apartment when the dude came door to door. What was the name of the cable company back then?
Zach.
Boy, whatever it was, he was selling, and I'm like I'd ever pay to watch TV. And we missed out on it for a little while, but we were definitely there at the very beginning of MTV.
Oh, for
we didn't
sure.
make it probably 2 or 3 months with all the hype of the cable, and we succumbed to it. I've been paying for TV ever since.
Johnny B says he's not in Poland anymore. He's in Germany now.
Oh, wow.
I think that's just a up, skipping a jump.
The Deutschland. That's
You
Motherland
could talk
for
to
me.
him now because you speak such fluent German.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
impressive.
have das Fader.
Fader?
Das Fader. That's a pen. And if I could find a pencil, I'd have a Bleistift. I know those words. I took 2 years of German at El Camino.
I can see. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see. Melanie Dodson says, I appreciate you watching MTV so I don't have to. I'm a giver, Mel. I'm a real giver. That's who I am. Let's see. Everybody's talking about the top speed of a helicopter on here. Our show sure jumps around, doesn't it? Elbow bump is another COVID term.
Yep.
I see a lot of that at the golf tournaments.
Yep.
Simple cough getting COVID labeled. Yeah. They need to keep those numbers up. Otherwise,
You know what?
we won't make it to the election.
I saw the funniest face mask. It says, I have allergies, not coronavirus. So when you're out and about and you start coughing or sneezing, yes, I have allergies.
At work, that's the first thing we do. If you sneezed or coughed or anything, Corona,
Yeah.
come through the door. Maybe you don't step right and you kick the door. Corona.
Yep. Yesterday, Vicky and I went for a little hike, and I took a sip of, I have that double insulated water flask.
Oh, okay.
So I took a sip of it before we left, and it went down the wrong pipe. And so I'm coughing a little bit.
Choking.
And she goes, people are going to look at you as you're out walking around. It took me a couple minutes to clear it out. And then, but yeah, I would do the same thing. If somebody was
She walked away like
hacking
this.
uncontrollably, I probably would be a little bit like, oh, dude, whatever.
Right.
So, yeah. It's all
Okay.
good.
Here's the idea. Here's the idea I have for how we're going to determine. We're going to do odd even today.
Oh, okay.
You remember how to play that? It's either
No.
you throw either a 1 or a 2.
Oh, okay.
And if we both throw ones, that's a even. And if
Okay.
we throw one of each, that's an odd.
Okay.
And I think what you do is best of 3. Okay?
Okay.
So
And
instead
which-
of go ahead.
And which wins though? I can't remember how you determine the winner.
If you guess what it turns out to be 3 times. Well, 2 out of 3
Oh.
times.
I got you. Okay.
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 I mean,
All right.
it's got to be one or the other.
Right.
Okay, so instead of doing the 1, 2, 3 thing, because that never times out right, there seems to be
Right.
some kind of delay.
Yeah.
We're just going to go like this. Okay,
I'm just gonna do this.
and nobody called. Okay, that was the example.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let me take my safety COVID glasses off.
All right.
Ronnie, why aren't you wearing a mask this morning?
It's upstairs.
Okay, I'm trying to make this really fair.
Okay. Now
All
you
And-
call it.
Okay, I'll call it. I'm going to go even and go.
Oh, it is
Okay,
even.
so I lead 1-0. All right, you can call this one.
Okay. I'm gonna call even.
Okay.
And-
And go. Odd, I win.
All right. Oh, that's it.
I get to go first.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to. I'll go ahead and go rather than defer. So
Okay.
you'll have 2 picks coming up in a moment. I feel confident in the research that I've done that with what I have, I can still whoop your ass. I'm going to go with social distancing as the
Yep.
number one thing I'm sick of hearing. Social distancing. Ronnie, you are up in our snake draft, and you will have the second pick in the first round and the first pick in the second round. Go.
I am gonna go numero uno with the Kung flu.
Oh, that's a Trump term.
Yes.
Kung flu.
Tired of it.
Okay,
The
that's a
Kung
good one.
flu.
That's your number
Yeah.
one.
That's
Okay.
my number one.
And now your first pick in the second round, please, sir.
Will be. This is kind of another term for Corona. They've called it, and this is all the millennials. They call it boomer remover,
Okay.
which it's not.
All right.
Not like
COVID
boomer.
terms you're sick of hearing. I have now 2 picks, which will be my
Yes.
final 2. I think I'm going to go with trying times.
Okay.
I'm sick of hearing that. These are trying times. No shit.
You think?
And this has just happened to be one of my favorites, and I use it a lot. Asymptomatic.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
All right, Ronnie. So I've got my 3. You have Kung Flu, Boomer Remover, and what is your final pick?
The one that came up in chat was actually one of my favorites, New Normal.
Oh, I was going to go with that one.
Yep.
Okay, and now,
Because this is not our new normal.
all right, I'm going to go ahead and recap. I have social distancing, I have trying times, and I have asymptomatic. These are COVID-19 terms that you are sick of hearing. Ronnie, give them yours, please.
I have the Kung Flu, Boomer Remover, and New Normal.
Okay, so now our viewers who we love so will now cast their votes. And I will tell you there will be no mail-in ballots.
No hanging chads.
No. And if you live in Florida and you're watching our show, you can't vote. You're still banned. From what was it, 2006 or something?
Yes. Okay, so I got 2 for Lou.
Oh, there we go.
Randy says it's a tie. Oh, Tisha says Lou.
You're getting them
Uh-oh.
faster than me.
Ken Blythe says, Lou, I'm not liking the looks of this. Can I get a sympathy vote?
I'll give you that sympathy Randy vote. Definitely a tie. I'm going to give you
There
that
we go.
one.
All right.
All right, so it's 4-1, right?
And now 5.
KDM says Lou.
Holy shit. Oh, there's my second one. But
JT
6.
says, sorry, Ron, going with Lou. That's 2 more for 7.
Wow.
Carrie Toes. Carrie, thank you for watching this morning. You are casting your vote for Ronnie. That makes it 2. Once again,
Carrie.
Ronnie has Kung Flu. He has Boomer Remover. And he has New Normal. Those are his if you want to vote for him.
I thought that the new normal would be people are so sick of that. But social distancing that's right up there.
It has to be.
Yeah, that's right up there.
How long are we going to have to do that?
Yeah.
Carrie says, love you both. Thank you, Carrie. We love you too.
Yeah. You're a favorite, you know.
Yeah. Just for that.
Yeah.
Hey, if I haven't already mentioned, check out our website. It's pretty simple to find it, menarososmart.com. A lot of fun stuff on there for you to view and interact with if you wish. Any more votes before we close this all out? Because I won 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
With Taco Bell menu items. I was the king.
It's looking pretty bleak. I'm not sure I can pull it out from here.
No, you're down 7-2 as I see it.
I feel like Hillary 2016. I was projected to win. Yeah.
You feel like Hillary, you say?
Yeah. Salty Dog's going with Lou. So I got it like 8-2 now.
8-2. Okay.
I'm going to start my concession speech.
All right. Then the winning team this week was social distancing, trying times. God, I hate that. You know what we forgot? We're all in this together.
Oh, boy.
And finally, number 3, I have asymptomatic because that's what I am. Some other words that came up that weren't mentioned: pandemic.
Yeah.
Quarantine. Mask.
How about the Rona?
That's the very next one on the list. Rona.
The Rona.
I almost went with unprecedented. How many times do you have to hear that a day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Vaccine. We haven't talked about that. Are you know, let me put it this way. Instead of addressing the American, because we're viewed in Russia.
That's true.
We are. And Putin
and Kazakhstan
is going to make it mandatory that people take this vaccine. And I'm like, I don't even want to take the one in America. Why would I dare take the one in Russia? Hello, Russian audience. Nice to have you today.
Well, and you know, it's going to be, I don't know, do you get a flu shot every year?
You know, Ronnie, I got my flu shot for the first time this last year.
Yeah. So I usually get one. And I haven't had the flu in a long time. I can't even remember decades. It's going to be just part of the flu shot because Corona, I think we've said this before, coronavirus has been around for eons and it just mutates. And it's this from the last one is COVID-19. And now when it mutates again, it'll be COVID-20. It's never going to go away. Viruses don't go away. They're just, they just change.
As witnessed by the fact that on the Lysol cans, they actually have something that says does not work with COVID-19.
Oh, there you go.
And it's been on the can for years.
Yes. So,
COVID, I should say, not 19.
I think it's just going to be when you get a flu shot, it's just part of that cocktail. It's
there's
part of
cocktails. I didn't get a cocktail. No one even told me.
You have to show up to the happy hour. It's from 4 to 6 p.m. only. You get the cocktail.
I'm gonna have to plead ignorant on that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Cocktails.
So I don't know. And you know what? And people won't even vaccinate their children for mumps and rubella and polio and smallpox and measles. How are we going to get people to, vaccinate for COVID? And again, my kids were all vaccinated, so I don't care. If you're willing to let your kids get possibly deathly ill, then that's up to you. But you know what? I'll take the vaccine when it comes around. I'll take the vaccine. I don't feel like I'm the demographic that the COVID virus is killing. I'm pretty healthy, but whatever. I'm just kind of one of those guys that goes along with whatever they throw out there.
All right. Well, I think we'll have to agree to disagree on that one. I have no desire to get a COVID vaccine until I've seen some statistics. Ain't gonna happen. It took me forever just to get a flu shot.
Yeah.
I said, I just got it this last year.
I'll tell you one thing I am going to get is the shot that prevents
shingles.
Shingles, yes. I was going to say adult chickenpox, but it's shingles.
Right.
I have a cousin. His wife has shingles so bad that she is basically her arm is like paralyzed. She has it on her back. She can't raise the arm. It's so painful.
Wow.
And so I don't want any part of that. So next time I go in, definitely getting the shingles vaccine.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody that voted for my incredible team this week. Thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate it. It was almost a whitewash.
I had a couple sympathy votes, and I think that they were just that. They were tossed my way just as like.
I think social distancing probably won it for me.
I think so too.
I think that's the one everybody is sick and tired of hearing about. All right.
And it's a kind of it's not really true. You're not social distancing. I won't go into it, but it's there's got to be a better term for it. I know somebody's got to have come up with a better term than social distancing.
Yeah. I agree.
Whatever.
All right. The Indy 500 is today, Ronnie.
Is it today?
Yep.
Oh my God. I know I watched a thing on TV last night, the run up to the Indy.
That's why it was on, Ronnie.
I had no idea. And they're doing it in front of a completely empty racing venue.
As they will do today. They had hoped to be at about 50% capacity when they originally rescheduled the date. And then they were told, no, that's not going to be good enough. And they had to cut that by 50%. They were going to have like 25,000 people. But finally, the powers that be in Indiana said, no, not happening. So a lot of what we know to be the pomp and circumstance of the race just isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no parade. There's no marching band. There will be a Back Home in Indiana sung.
Oh.
That's the biggest tradition for me. Jim Nabors used to sing that every year,
yeah.
as you probably recall, and did such a great golly, did he do a great job with that. They will have that. They won't have the balloon release.
No. I've been to that racetrack. It's amazing. It's a spectacle. I saw the Brickyard 400 there, but the Indy 500 is still on my bucket list, as is the Daytona 500. So as soon as we're done with this new normal, there it is. As soon as the new normal is over, I'm going to have to do both those races and get those scratched off my bucket list.
Yeah. There will be 3. You can't quote me on this fact. Actually, you shouldn't quote me on any facts, but hey, if I believe them to be true, then they're true.
That is.
There's going to be 3 or 4 Andrettis involved with this race today. 2 of them racing in Mercedes-Benz. Wow. One of them is going to be in the pace car. Mario is going to be in the 2-man pace car.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I think that's 4. It starts at 11:30 this morning on this coast. Plan accordingly. I don't know if that's the time of the drop of the green flag or not, but all of these cars will be going about 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So
Faster than a helicopter.
faster than a Hellcat. They should have that guy in the race. Just tell him, go down there and make a left. And just keep doing it.
You also know that most of those Indy cars run Goodyear tires.
All right.
Because they pull to the left. They kind of veer to the left a little bit. You can't get a Goodyear to go to the right.
The opinions expressed by Corvette Ronnie are once again entirely his own. All right, so that's coming up today. That's what I will be doing a little bit later. In fact, no, I don't even know what time it is.
I'm going to put it on my DVR so I can fast forward through all the crappy stuff.
Hey, so I don't know about you and your retirement, but while I have been down the last couple of weeks, I've been catching up and binging on a lot of television shows.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a fly in here once again. And the door's not even open today. One fly, and it has to be right frickin' here. I've been watching The Office.
Oh, yes.
Right. Maybe if I take the glasses off, it won't recognize me. I've been watching a lot of The Office, which it just makes me laugh in my stomach.
It's a timeless show. I adore that show so much.
There is not one character on that show that I could do without.
Nope.
They're all so good. It kind of reminds me of back when Cheers was on. Did you hear that Cheers probably has served its last drink? The actual bar in I don't say that word.
Oh,
in the New England area.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually closing?
Yeah. Yep. Kind of sad. I've also been watching How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
I think that ensemble is also very awesome. I did see the last episode,
right,
which explains who their mother is.
Right.
And I won't spoil that. So for any of you that might, because it's such a good show, and it
really is. It's a great show.
You know when I get such a kick out of Ronnie when they do their flip phones.
Their what? Oh yes, yes.
Tiny little things like this big.
Yep.
So How I Met Your Mother. There's one other I'm forgetting.
What about Friends?
Friends, that's it. I've seen every episode, I think, now.
Yep. Friends is good. All of those are timeless. In 50 years from now, they'll still be funny.
Yeah.
They're timeless. Now, I have to say, do you have Netflix?
I do, but I don't watch it often.
There's a show. It's called Barry, and I believe it's on Netflix. It's got Bill Hader in it, who is Saturday Night Live alum.
Very funny, man.
Very funny. And he, I believe, produced. He either wrote or produced or both this show, and it's not super long. I don't even know how many seasons. It's maybe like 2 seasons or so, 8 or 10 episodes a season. It's hilarious. You have to watch that. I'll tell you that he's a hitman. He's released from the. He actually gets out of the military, and the job market is not good, and he becomes a hitman.
Is it possible that you told me about this show a little bit once before?
I'm sure I probably did.
Somebody did.
It's very, very good. It's definitely worthwhile.
Okay.
There's a rumor that he may be coming out with a spin-off or another season of it. I would watch it in a heartbeat. It's great.
Okay, I think that's going to bring us just about to the end. I will mention for those of you who have been asking, I'm still cigarette free. And it's over 30 days. It's about 34 or 35 days.
Well, you're over the hump now.
You would think. But last night I came out here. I grabbed 2 beers to take back. And that's another thing, whereas I used to spend so much time in my garage here smoking, I'm now in the house in my room.
Yep.
So I came out here to get a couple of beers, and I sat down at my broadcast desk here, and oh my God, I looked at the bottle of tequila. There it is. And all I could think about was how much I wanted a cigarette. So they're still there, trust me.
Yeah.
And they hurt.
At some point, I would think that the craving will just absolutely disappear.
I hope so. My daughter was saying at this point, if you had one, you'd probably get sick.
Yeah, you might. You might. It's
What a
too
way to
bad they
go,
can't come up with a. I know for like opiate addiction, they have a pill or a shot. I don't know what it is, but it's if you went ahead and did an opiate anyway, there's no payoff for it. So, your body simply says, yeah, you just did it, but you don't get the same satisfaction. So maybe someday that's what they'll come up with. Instead of doing a nicotine patch, they'll come up with something that kills those pleasure receptors that you get when you take in a cigarette.
Oh my God, the urges are so bad.
Yeah.
They're still so bad. You just, and I'll be honest, sometimes if it gets really bad, I'll just go sleep because I know I can't smoke when I'm sleeping. So that's my attack on the attacks. My counterattacks, if you will.
Yeah.
I go sleep so I don't have to deal with it. But I honestly, as true as I'm looking at you right now, I have not even cheated with one cigarette.
That's
not
a good
even
thing.
one.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing.
Completely cold turkey.
It probably, the bad part is if you were to break it, you might just go right back to it full force.
Yeah.
Then you start from square one with the cravings again. And
I know, that's why I don't want to.
Don't do it. Don't give in. You got to have willpower.
I saw, but every time I see somebody smoking on a show or something, it's the first thing I think of. Oh my God, that looks so good.
Yeah.
It looks so good. Melanie Dodson, for those of you that don't know, and I don't want to tell too much about her, but Melanie is my wife's best friend. And she lives...
Wait, I thought I was your wife's best friend.
Well, after you, Ronnie.
Okay.
She's just known Melanie longer. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. She says, my hubby is watching reruns of Heart to Heart during these trying times.
Oh, that was a good show.
Robert Wagner and who was that girl's name? I can't remember. Red hair.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
The dynamic duo.
God darn.
Heart and Heart.
That was such a great show. Let me Google. Or maybe Melanie can pop in with it.
Carrie Toe says, I feel for you, Lou. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate it, but I'm kind of on my own out here. Hang in there, says Melanie. Keep it up. You got it, says JT. Salty Dog says, I smoke 2 packs a day, so I have a pretty good idea of how hard this is for you. Stay strong, Lou. Salty Dog, join me.
Stephanie Powers.
That's who it was. Thank you very much.
Stephanie Powers.
Join me. You don't need those 2 packs of cigarettes. At the most, I would smoke a pack a day, or maybe 21 cigarettes or so. Davio says, you chose life. Good man.
Yeah. Yep.
F the death sticks. I know. And even today, while we were doing this episode, there was a point, especially this morning when we couldn't get the microphone to work in the first episode.
Right.
That stress was, I could feel it in the back of my head, like, oh man, you just need to light up a cigarette and calm down.
You know what though? In reality, it's still the same. If you're smoking it, you're still going through the same stress.
Right. I get you.
It's, everybody with an addiction they use it as a crutch, and it really isn't. It doesn't change anything. People that drink extensively, they drink because of, issues. Doesn't change anything. In fact, it possibly exasperates it or makes it worse. So
Davio says food tastes better. It's true.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure.
And you know, Ronnie knows this to be true. When we used to do the show together from Ron's garage, I would drive from my house over there, and so naturally on the way, and it's a long distance.
Half
I mean,
hour.
it's not an hour, but you know,
It's a half hour.
I would probably have 2 cigarettes in the course of that drive, and then I would get to his house and I would spray myself down with Febreze.
Right.
You know, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Nope.
When I brush my teeth and leave the house, which I don't do very often lately, but when I do, when I get to my destination, my mouth doesn't smell like cigarettes.
You know, and that was one thing when I used to do a lot of bar hopping back in the day, and when I came home, my clothes reeked.
Yeah.
Cigarette smoke. This is back in the day when you could smoke, you know, in a nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
It was my least favorite part of, you know, the dancing and cavorting. So
Right. When I used to do radio when I was younger, I smoked, and you could smoke right there in the studio. And I was on this show called The Morning Zoo, and we had about a cast of characters about, I don't know, 6 people long, and I would just fire up a cigarette anytime I wanted. It didn't matter what the other person wanted.
right.
It was my right. And I used to say that. It's my right to smoke.
Yep.
Guess what? You were wrong, Lou. Really? Me? No, that's not possible. Are you kidding? Raise your hand if you're wrong. Now, raise your hand if you talk to yourself. All right. Okay, Ronnie. East Area rapist sentenced.
Yes.
Life in
11
prison.
I think 11 life sentences.
Yeah,
So we got that going for us.
which is nice.
And I think he's already 74. So really one life sentence probably would have done the trick. But, you know.
Let's make sure.
Yeah.
But he pleaded guilty so he wouldn't get the death penalty. Like that would ever happen in California.
Yeah, that's not going to happen anyway. And it would have, you know what? It would have been a trial that would have never ended. It would have carried on for maybe 10 years. It probably would have outlived him.
And he's such a sociopath that he's acting as if he's frail
Right.
to get sympathy. And they have to wheel him into the courtroom. And he has to be in a wheelchair. And he's handcuffed to it, you know? And I just saw the video that was released that shows him in his cell, which I didn't know they were allowed to have videos in a cell.
Yeah.
Really?
They have a couple of what they call suicide watch cells.
Oh, okay.
So if you are on a high profile type case,
Like
where-
Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah. Yeah. That didn't work out so well for them.
No, it didn't, did it?
I don't think they had him in a video cell at the time, but we've had a couple people. I think the first one we did was the Unabomber. We had the Unabomber in Sacramento County Jail, and he was the first one that we actually stuck a video camera in his cell after he made a suicide attempt. He took the elastic out of his underwear and tried to hang himself. And so after that, we put videos in some of the suicidal people's cells. So,
Well, the East Area Rapist, some of you around the country, around the world may not know this story. He was also called the Golden State Killer. You may know that name depending on where you lived or heard. They've showed this video of him in his, I believe he's playing hopscotch.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then he follows that up with a game of hokey pokey. And he does know how to do the hokey pokey.
And he's in the hokey pokey. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I struggle with? You put your left foot in. That's where I struggle.
I'm not so great at shaking it all about. I don't
We
know.
all have flaws.
I'm only a man.
We're just human. You're just
Yeah.
one man, Ronnie.
I'm just one man.
You can't save the whole world.
No.
As much as we try every week.
One of these days I'll be able to shake it all about. That's my goal. That's also on my bucket list.
All right. When my wife watches the playback on this, she always complains about how long the ending of the show is. So we're not going to do that today. I'm just going to say order a t-shirt. There's the PayPal address right there. If you have
Yep.
any questions, email me or Ronnie. Our website is coming across the screen, menarsosmart.com. You've seen our emails. I think it's time for us to get out of here. I want to do this right today, so I'm going to make sure that I got the thing going. And JT says, I went to 28-day detox for alcoholism and wish they would have made me stop smoking too. Yeah, so many people do that. Alcoholics do that. They trade one for the other.
Yeah.
And see, I'm trying not to do that.
Yeah.
And including food. I'm trying not to eat as a substitute.
Well, and I have heard that people who drink, you can't drink without lighting up a cigarette. And I actually heard a comedian put it best. It's like pooping and not peeing. So, when one happens, the other one just happens right with it. So it really should be. They should be treated concurrently, right at the same time. Just, if you're there for an addiction, knock out a couple addictions at the same time.
Yeah, it isn't easy, but I believe I feel better. I can almost sense it. I still am trying to schedule my surgery in the first episode. What do we call that one? Today, the first episode. Shoot.
Prequel.
A prequel. Okay, we'll call it that. That's not the word I was thinking of, but that works. I talked about that. I still have not been able to schedule my surgery. I have to have fusion done on my spine, and I thought it was just going to be between 5 and 6, but I am told that it is 2 through 7 that is damaged. So the recovery time is going to be lengthy, very. And so I'll be honest with you, what I went through with my prostate cancer and the infection that I got, that doesn't weigh very well on my mind. And cigarettes are one of the things that lead to infection, by the way.
Oh, well, so maybe you won't be so prone to that.
Well, I'm hoping if that's all it takes, because I looked at my records recently, and one of the things they had me down for was blood poisoning. Ooh. And see, here's the thing, Ron. I've never gone to the doctor for blood poisoning, so it had to be that surgery. They must have found out that I had poison in my blood and didn't tell me, but it ended up on my file.
Yeah. Wow. Well, hopefully, I know that, it used to be, to make a long show even longer, used to be the people that had back surgery were never quite the same afterwards. And I know many, many deputies and police officers end up having back surgery because you carry 15, 18 pounds around your hips for 20 or 30 years. That's what you get. Nowadays, people go through back surgery. There's a recovery time, and then they're back playing golf. They're leading a fairly normal life. So
with a plate and some screws, though.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
It's the miracle of modern science.
Well, my problem is that I do too much research and I read things that I shouldn't be reading. But you have to know. Here's my grandson. I wonder if he'll come over here. Come over here, buddy. Come here. Stand over here. Everybody can see my grandson. He's coming into the screen now. Stand over here. Come on. See Grandpa there?
There he is. Oh, sweet.
This is Jake. Say hi to everybody. Say hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Can you see yourself on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah? Don't pull on the microphone, please. Would you just wake up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you do this for Grandpa? All right, get out, kid. You're upstaging me. All right, so that'll do it for today. And did I hear you? No, you're not working next Sunday, right?
No.
But
I am
you are
working Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday this week.
All right. Well, try to get some rest, and we'll do a show Sunday morning.
I'm working a dog, though. I get to work with a dog 3 days.
Wow.
Augie, a black lab, whose handler, by the way, is having back problems. So that's why I'm working his dog this week.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that. You deserve that. Okay, my friends, I want you to have a very nice Sunday. If you get a chance, tune in and check out all that is the pomp and circumstance of the Indy 500. The beginning of the race is always so cool when they drop that green flag. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
And we will see you on the very next Men Are So Smart next Sunday morning. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, are we done?
Not yet, Ronnie. Shh.
Dang. Uh-oh. There we go.
That's what Davia says.
Okay. So also
It ended right after my 2 thumbs up.
Oh, wow. This is